Hello and welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast. Derek's running late. The defending champ is on the clock. Also, CM Punk saga continues. Dot, dot, dot. Also, a lot of hesitancy surrounding Seth Rollins and the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns is officially a singular champion, and a whole lot more fun stuff to talk about. I don't know. We'll see when Derek joins us. Oh yeah, we weren't here last week. It was my wife's birthday, so.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
What's up, pal?
Nada. And still, gotta pick a time. I'm gonna say, dude, it's 8:31 by my clock.
That is correct.
I'm gonna say he will. I'm gonna. Oh right, I pick a time. You say over under.
Yes.
Right. 8:45.
Ooh, that's a good number. You know what? I'm gonna say over.
Okay, I'll take the under on that.
I'm gonna say over.
All right.
How you been, bud? Been a couple weeks.
It has been. We've chatted a little bit. I actually saw you in human form.
Yes,
last
that was
week.
nice. That was nice.
It was cool. I was hungry, and I'm like, you know what I want? I want some fucking steak. And then I went and got some steak, and it was good times. So, no, I've been good. Busy. So the kids got rained out for like a whole week. So we've been in the process of replaying all those games in addition to all the other games that were scheduled. So I have been to every baseball field between here and, I've been in every baseball field almost in Western Pennsylvania. So we'll put it in that regard. But it's been good. Did all of that, and here I am having a good time on a Wednesday. I got some AEW Dynamite on, and it's gonna be a good evening. How about you, pal? What you been up to?
I just been chasing my tail, been burning the candle at both ends, as they say.
That's how I feel about work, but yes.
Busy time for me this time of year at the old office job. Wife's birthday, Mother's Day, got to make sure all that stuff gets taken care of.
For sure.
So it's been a go. It's been a go. So
your wife is both a mother and somebody who was born once. So
yeah.
Gotta handle them things.
Gotta handle them, and then took a couple extra days off this week, and gonna just trying to utilize that time to the best of my ability. So that's kind of where we're at. Clean the garage today.
Oh, there you go. That's the thing.
Yeah.
When you clean the garage, do you get out the leaf blower and blast everything out of it, or you sweep it?
Listen, I don't think my wife would appreciate you calling her a leaf blower.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm done.
Nah, we use the old broomer.
Oh, okay.
Little broomski.
I leaf blow the dust out, and then I come in looking like Ace Ventura after what happened to him, and he was covered in like dust or flour or whatever that was. When he was dusting for fingerprints. Yeah, that's what I look like. That's what I look like after I clean out the garage. Tell you what, man, it works great. It blows them spider webs and the spiders and whatever else out.
No, I mean, that's what it's kind of supposed to do. Yeah.
Oh, FTR just pushed that giant man into a big cushy table.
So we've got a lot of things that we need to talk about here.
We sure do.
We've got a
Who
couple
wasn't
weeks
here?
couple weeks worth of news that we need to discuss.
Well, some of it was announced today, so
Yes, and we will move into that eventually. Let's what I find really super interesting. I don't know if you saw this, but the WWE Endeavor merger, okay, has some interesting verbiage concerning Vince McMahon. I don't know. Did you see this?
I did not see this. I did see that they're called the TKO group, though, which I kind of do like, actually.
Yes. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense.
Sense. I like it.
Absolutely.
I kind of want the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Is there a T-shirt? Because now I want
don't know. Man, probably.
Should be, because I'd buy it.
I spent $6 billion and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
It'd be great. It should say that on the back.
That'd be dope, right?
That'd be the best T-shirt ever. It'd be the best T-shirt in my wardrobe, other than this one. This is a pretty good one.
Yeah, this is a pretty good one.
It is. Best friends.
You got to give the people what they want, Tom.
Scissor me, daddy ass. Yeah, that's what the people want.
So anyways, the verbiage surrounding Vince McMahon is that he remain the chairman unless death or resignation.
Oh, death or resignation. So wait, what if it was just resignation? Like, what if they had to keep him chairman at death? Like the corpse was still the chairman.
Like Weekend at Bernie's?
Exactly like Weekend at Bernie's. Look, don't tell me they're not going to try to Weekend at Bernie's Vince's corpse, all right? Don't tell me.
Are they going to, you think they'll shoot an angle with it?
I mean, I would say if Vince's corpse was in charge of creative, they certainly would.
Can we do Weekend at Bernie's style? Can we redo the merger interview with Ari Emanuel and Vince McMahon? Can we redo that Weekend at Bernie style?
Okay, but before that, to get him to that interview, they have to do the thing where the big boss man, also RIP, but somebody needs to play the role of the big boss man and hook Vince McMahon's coffin to a truck, and the Big Show needs to jump on it as he drives away.
Captain Insano shows no moisey.
Captain Insano shows no moisey. I think that's what needs to happen. If I'm being honest, that's what I'd rather see happen. If they need to drag that. Oh man, when Vince dies, they really need to do an angle with. Like they really do. Like
you think that's in his will? It's like, hey pal, after I take the pinfall, make sure you shoot an angle with my cold dead fucking body. That's good shit, pal.
That's good shit, pal. You know what? That is good shit, pal. That really should be the last hurrah of Vince McMahon. An angle done with his corpse, even if it's not his actual corpse, because I don't know how like network TV is with like showing real dead people. They probably don't like that. It's probably not a thing that you're allowed to show on TV. But if I think that they should certainly shoot a Vince McMahon is dead angle and somebody's trying to steal the corpse or something like that. That certainly needs to happen. And somebody needs to drag a coffin out somewhere. Maybe the Undertaker. Let's bring the Undertaker back for it. Let's do the whole
done.
And they can do. Oh man, they could do hologram ghost Vince McMahon.
You got to put him on the symbol.
Yeah. Oh my God, crucify hologram.
No, it's ghost? A symbol. It was a symbol.
Oh, with the Undertaker symbol. Yeah. Wow, what we're talking about is literally would be the best wrestling television since that time they crucified Stone Cold on television.
So I've got to feel like that would definitely be something that's in Vince as well, right? Like,
I mean, it would really like it would really warm my heart if it was. You know what I
Nothing
mean?
warms your cold, dead heart, sir.
I mean, it would really warm. It would like, I might shed a little tear of like happiness and joy of like, just, oh my God, it was so good. I can't believe they did it. Just about as it's about as Vince McMahon as you could get, right? And it would only be right.
Yeah.
And we'd talk about it forever.
Yeah. I mean, it would be. I mean, it would have to be like the best thing since I don't know the graveyard match or the boneyard match.
Oh my God, that I rewatched that not too terribly long ago because I saw a meme and I'm like, I'm gonna put that on. So I put it on while I stared at spreadsheets, and that was so good. That was like all for everything that happened during the pandemic. That boneyard match just was so good. And the thing about it too was that like they fired Gallows and Anderson shortly after that. So in kayfabe, Gallows and Anderson were killed by the Undertaker or something for like years.
Yeah. Remember they kept it going at the cinematic Money in the Bank that they did at WWE headquarters. AJ walked into that one room, and the casket was in there. Done. He's like, ah! And then they cut to Daniel Bryan in Vince's office.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, oh, what a time to be alive.
What a time to be a wrestling fan.
What a time. What a time.
I mean, AEW's out here putting out hot trash still, but it's okay. Hey, look, they're looking to turn it around. I don't know why Sheeta and Britt Baker are friends now. That doesn't seem to make any sense to me. But that's an angle they got going on, is that we're baby faces now. We're both baby faces now, so we're not bitter rivals anymore. Now we can team together because there's only 6 people in the fucking women's division that anybody thinks are over. I mean, that's true. Like, there's really only
3 of them are in a faction.
A faction,
stable, if you will, baby.
A stable that only kind of works too, but that's okay.
It's like the new Generation X order.
Yeah, it's that. They're like, we're somehow both the Outsiders and DX all at the same time. It's like, but you're not as cool as either of them, but that's okay. But who could be as cool as fucking Scott Hall? I mean, nobody was as cool as Scott Hall, right?
Ayo.
Like, and you know, Kevin Nash, every time he brings him up, how could Scott Hall get over and not be champion, be this way, that way? Every time Kevin Nash is like, because Scott was fucking cool. He was the coolest dude you ever met, and he was the coolest dude in any room he was ever in. And it's like, well, that's true. That's
R.I.P. Scott Hall.
R.I.P. Scott Hall.
I watched the A&E biography thing a couple of nights ago on the NWO, and it was really the first thing that they had done since he passed away. And Kevin Nash actually brought that up, got real emotional about it, talked about how cool he was and how great of a guy he was, and you know, all that good stuff.
Well, they were best friends for what? 40 years?
Yeah, 30 at least.
I mean, you know, they got together. Well, yeah, 30 at least. Yeah, I mean, they were already friends when we met. When we knew who they were.
Friend of the show, Derek Wright. Tom, you're on the wrong side.
Where the fuck is Derek Wright?
He's in chat. He's friend of the show, Derek Wright, today.
Oh, okay. Get friend of the show, Derek. Get your fucking ass out here, you chooch.
Fucking chooch. Hey, so John Cena came under fire recently about burying up and coming talent.
John Cena buried everybody,
and he took to Busted Open to kind of
couch with Cooter.
to kind of defend himself a skosh.
That must have been the biggest person Busted Open's had on their show ever.
Bully Ray today even said sometimes when you're at the level of John Cena, just like when you're at the level of a Hulk Hogan, you have a different feel. a different perspective of things, and you just know something is right or something is not. Hulk was considered back in the day difficult to do business with. He was protecting the business, and I think John does that as well. I mean, Cena came under fire here recently, though, Bob, like really saying that he just kind of goes out of his way to bury folks. And when he was on Busted Open, he talked about the hours invested into the small feud, the build-up for WrestleMania with Austin Theory. He said something along the lines of like, "Hey man, Austin and I spent like 10 or 12 hours sitting at a table with one another, just talking about how this was going to go and what this was going to look like." And he was like, I'm not on the level of a Roman Reigns, because Roman can get people over by proxy. Just because they're associated with Roman, he's getting people over. He said, I never had that. My way to get somebody over is to get inside, to get in the ring with them and go to war with them, both on the microphone and in the wrestling match. He said, I can't get people over just by a relationship like Roman does. So if me doing what I do to help get talent over is burying people, then I guess that's where we're at.
I mean, so look at it this way, I think with John Cena particularly, hindsight is 2020, right? So look at all of John Cena's biggest feuds. We got Edge, Orton, CM Punk. Who else? Roman to an extent.
Bro, you can't put Roman Reigns and CM Punk in the same fucking sentence.
No, I can't. I'm just pointing out
people.
I'm just pointing out people who feuded with John Cena.
Oh.
That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
But The Rock, I mean, obviously The Rock was clearly super over at that point. But
Yeah, but he had to write his promo on his wrist.
Sure did. And Cena called him out for that.
Yeah.
But I think that in retrospect, Cena definitely got a generation of top talent over.
Agreed.
Maybe two generations of top talent over. Did it look like he was trying to bury them in the process? Yeah, but I think that was his thing, right?
Yeah.
Like that was, and I think
he was a walking diss track.
Yeah, and I think that's the point at this, is that he was so good at it, as that like, Cena was burying people. Cena was not burying people the way the way that Triple H could bury people. You know what I mean?
Hey, how dare you?
Like Triple H could bury some people. Like, let's be fair. Same thing with Shawn Michaels. If you want to look at it in a way, like there were guys who legitimately buried people, and then there was John Cena who, like you said, walking diss track. I would say I don't want to put him in the same category because it's obviously very different. The Rock's charisma was different, but in a similar way that The Rock did it. Yeah, I know, I see, I get it, I understand. I'm just saying that when they had Chris Jericho come out with The Rock, and The Rock, it doesn't matter what your name is. Jericho still over. Now, was that up to Jericho? Because that didn't work for Billy Gunn. But I think guys like John Cena saw what worked when The Rock would do it against Jericho, or people who, but he kind of maybe didn't bury them as hard. I get it. I understand what Cena's trying to say. It was a different era, that whole ruthless aggression era isn't really looked back on as the best storytelling. A lot of it sucked, So
who sucks? Derek sucks.
Derek sucks.
Derek sucks.
Did you go over or under?
I went over.
Okay. Well, then, and new.
Derek says, hot take, Tripp's promo cadence sounds like James Hetfield singing.
Hey, yeah.
Here I go now.
It's weird that both of their idols were Lemmy from Motorhead, too.
I don't think that's weird at all. I think that's great company.
I mean, look, everybody's idol should be Lemmy.
So I was cleaning the garage today, and
Uh-huh.
out of nowhere, Motorhead the Game came on.
It's time to play the game.
I was just like, oh, okay, all right, I can get behind this. This is good mojo right here.
I'm a big fan. I'm actually a big fan of Behold the King of Kings.
Yeah, his corporate walkout. So he's got
Yeah,
he's got his in ring, and then he's got his corporate music. That motherfucker got more entrance music than
Bow
anybody
down
I ever.
to the king. The fact that he's got 2 Motorhead like intro songs is, I mean, it's untouchable at this point, right? Like the only thing that's like kind of close but not really is that Edge has 2 Alter Bridge intros, but those were both like, those weren't necessarily written for Edge. Those were more ripped off.
They were just kind of ripped apart and remade and put back together. And I like the Edge version of Metalingus far better than the original.
Yeah, I do too, because it's like, you think you know me.
Yeah, like
on this day.
It makes more
right
sense.
into the chorus. Yeah.
It makes more sense. And
Yeah.
like I feel like it's a little heavier too. I think when they tweaked it around, they made it a little heavier.
Because they pulled in the intro and then it goes right into the chorus instead of.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I agree. And I like the you think you know me in the beginning. That's the part I think that really makes it mwah. Chef's kiss.
So I was just kind of scrolling here because there's a lot of shit to talk about, and I can't really keep it all together because there's a lot to talk about.
It's been a couple weeks, man.
And it's been a couple of weeks. So
Jethro came into this world.
Jethro did come into this world. Jethro Cooter does exist.
Cooter Jethro, but yeah, he does.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe Jethro Cooter is the better way to set it up. I don't know. Maybe we'll get Derek's opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, Derek, you have an opinion since this is where you're doing the show from these days. How you doing the show from chat these days? So,
look, he's got to hold a baby. I get it. Like, it's fine.
Did you hear that, Derek? It's fine.
Fine.
I mean,
Tom's not mad about it. He doesn't have he doesn't feel bad about it. Darby Allin's got some sort of like sling on his ribs or something. Or not Darby Allin. What the fuck's this guy? Orange Cassidy, that guy.
So, a couple weeks ago, we got a report that Triple H was advised to not put the new world championship on a resilient superstar.
I saw this too, and I know who we're speaking of, and he's a guy who I'm a monstrous fan of, and I saw that there's some top brass in ye old WWE who are against it, and for the life of me, I have no idea why. Because I know what you're about to say, and you can go. I'm going to let you go into what you have to say and the spiel about it. I have no idea why. It seems to me like they all hit their heads, or maybe they don't watch wrestling, but that's possible too. But go on. I want to hear what you have to say and the way that you have to convey it.
So I really feel like they need to give Finn Balor a shake here, right? Like, I don't know what the problem is, what Vince's problem is with him. He was the prime candidate to win that belt.
Who, Finn Balor?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think. So here's what I think happened with Balor, and because he and Seth had a fucking banger last week after they already both wrestled a match. And I think that, truthfully, I think it came down to just who was on what brand, if I'm being honest. And I think they went, because they had to put those on Monday Night Raw and on SmackDown, because they knew they needed to draw a rating against the NBA playoffs. So they knew that Balor versus Rollins is going to draw and keep people invested on Monday, and then AJ versus who did AJ Edge? AJ and Edge on Friday. They knew that would keep people's eyeballs on the product, or at least keep them flipping back to it from the NBA playoffs. And I think that they decided from a ratings perspective that was the way to go, and they needed to pick a winner. And they decided, all right, you know what? We've got Balor tangled up in all this Judgment Day stuff. We can go for the night of champions. We can go for Rollins versus AJ. That's going to be a killer. I mean, that's going to be a great match.
No, it's going to be phenomenal.
Then they can also do AJ versus Edge and AJ and Seth versus Balor on those nights where they need to draw the rating, and it falls into that category.
Yeah, I mean, I get the business piece of it. I just don't understand what the problem is with putting it on a resilient guy, somebody that deserves a shake, right?
Somebody that absolutely and to your point, I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you here. To a point, to a guy who you put it on this guy and he's going to carry it tremendously. You can put that, and you can put the tag team titles all within the Judgment Day and have them carry.
And it would all make
sense. That's going to happen in the next year, but I don't know. I think that backstage politics and a little bit of Vince McMahon influence have pushed in, and they're like, Rollins is going to be the first heavyweight champion.
But is he, though? Because now they're hesitant to put the belt on him because he's working with Captain America.
It's either going to be him or it's going to be AJ. I don't think it's going to be AJ unless they're using it to negotiate an AJ extension of the contract.
I believe that going into Night of Champions, wholehearted belief was Seth Rollins. No doubt about it. None whatsoever. But then this happened.
So
now this has happened after the fact.
But at the same point, what part of this is to sort of shake up and mess up the dirt sheets, right? Like, what part of this is to confuse the dirt sheets?
No, and that's fair too. But I mean, there's pictures all over the old interwebs. Seth Rollins playing with Captain America.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm just saying they dropped the ball because they should have put this belt on Edge. That's what they should have done. Should have put the belt on the guy that never lost it.
That's true. And I'm not. So I thought about that too, but Edge is. So this is supposed to be the Raw belt, and that's really the point of it. And it's really very corporate at this point. So they put Edge on SmackDown because certainly Fox wanted Edge for the end, right? This is Edge's like final last hurrah. And Edge's thing was he wants one more heavyweight title reign and the end. But I think Edge probably has a year in him. And I think Edge is still going to get a heavyweight title run. Probably. You know what I mean? Unless he gets hurt and has to cut it out or something like that. But I think he's good. I think the plans are there. I think that they want to put the first one on. They look at it as Edge, and that they don't want it to be. Oh yeah, put it on the Attitude Era guy. They don't. So there's criticism from that. So I think they want to dodge that. At the same time, as far as Balor is concerned, I think he's certainly going to get his time with it. I think he'll probably be the first. He'll probably be the second one. You know what I mean? Like, I think that makes the most sense to me, is that he'll have a feud with Rollins, Rollins will lose it to Balor, but then Balor can drop it to Edge and they can flop it next year or whatever time, whenever they want to do that. And I think that makes sense. So I think we see Rollins to Balor to Edge, however long that takes, whether it's 18 months, 2 years, whatever. I think those are the 3 first heavyweight champions. How they get there, I'm going to tune in to watch and see, but I think that makes the most sense to me.
No, I mean that's fair, but I don't know. I feel like it's got to be Rollins coming out of this, right?
I mean, it's not going to be AJ. As much as I love AJ, that's just going to be a banger match, but it's just not going to be AJ. Like, I think AJ's he's on what is sort of his twilight contract. He said so a zillion times. They're not going to give him a short title reign for it. They're going to put him in a main event, maybe a main event picture. Maybe he'll even get a rematch. But he's not going to get a reign or a title run out of it. He's just going to get a good program out of it.
Oh, so what you're saying is he's no longer phenomenal. He's cooter nominal.
Yeah, he's on his retirement run. Him and Shinsuke. You know what I mean? Like this is their last.
Shinsuke.
This is their last little run in the sun, kind of deal. They're going to be there for the big moments, and you're going to see them in big things. But 3 years from now, Shinsuke is going to be back in Japan doing his thing. And AJ's probably going to take a backstage role, maybe being a producer or something like that. And I think that's fine for them.
Or he'll go to AEW.
Who, AJ or Shinsuke?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think AJ's going to AEW. Of all people, I don't think AJ's going to AEW. Although Roddy Strong went to AEW, and Roddy is slapping the shit out of Chris Jericho right now, who kind of already looks blown up. But anyway, not important.
Well, I mean, I just don't. So I want to kind of bring this up, and then we'll start working ourselves into the entree here, because I've got a feeling that that's going to take a little bit of time, because it's a quite complex situation. So AEW announces their new television show going to be coming to Saturdays. AEW Collision. We've been hearing about it for weeks. We knew it was coming. They had a press conference
today. Confirmed today.
They had a press conference event today, and very loud in his absence was one CM Punk, who we've been led to believe is going to be the cornerstone of this show. It's going to essentially be a second brand, and we don't know what that looks like, what that entails. So my question for you is, and this is a little bit of jaw-jacking, we'll call it, going on the internet about AEW possibly switching their business model to become more like WWE, just from the simple fact that they're copying some of the things that they're doing. Now, before we jump into that, I do want to present this to you because, you're a ratings guy, you're a numbers guy. You'd like to look at that stuff. So one of the things that's been discussed kind of recently is AEW's failure to maintain a television audience, whether it be on Wednesday nights for Dynamite, or on Fridays or Saturdays or Thursday mornings, whatever day Rampage is these days. They can't maintain a television audience.
No.
Now, but yet they're putting 70,000 tickets out for sale, in Wembley, and like all in's looking great. Their live event revenue, that their houses are just, they're up.
Yeah, they're doing good.
But their ratings are way down.
Ratings are down. Because
do you think, and we've said this a lot of times, on this show, what a fun live event AEW is.
It's a bad TV show.
Exactly. So do you think that they're trying to, maybe by doing this and splitting the brand, so to speak, that maybe they're trying to become a little bit more, we'll call it, commercialized, so that, they can try to find a middle ground? to what WWE is and what AEW's current television product is.
What I hope they're trying to do versus what I think might be happening. What I hope they're trying to do is to find time for talent to shine as opposed to focusing on talent that is former WWE guys. And then I don't know. Does AEW? So I think there's two questions to this. Does AEW need more TV time? Yes, just based on the size of their roster. Yes, they need more TV time to let more of their roster shine, particularly their women.
I mean, they have signed or getting ready to sign a fucking massive agreement with Time Warner.
Yeah.
So like clearly Time Warner, the network, and Tom, that I hate to be this guy, but like you always said that, like, hey, they're gonna fucking want out. They're gonna get out. Like, this television show is bad.
No, you're right.
I
mean, it's a bad show sometimes.
It is really a bad show. It's a bad show a lot of times. I mean, the in-ring is good, but the show is not good, right? Like,
especially on TV. I'm sure in person, I'm sure it's like it's entertaining. You get to see stuff. There's stuff that happens between. There's stuff that's not on TV.
The crowd's wild all the time.
Yeah.
Like for the most part. But we have seen a lot of those that crowd interaction died down a little bit recently, I think, on television. It's not come through like it used to.
For sure.
But I don't know. But what you're talking about is a full-on brand split, right? Like you're talking about, and you even said it yourself, WWE guys showcase that. So like, are they going to send like all their WWE talent to the Saturday show that can do the whole script and do a television show? Because it kind of sounds like they are.
So I think the plan is that makes sense plan-wise, if I'm being honest, because they've sort of already got their 800,000 people who are in on Wednesday, right? Those people are there regardless, but they're going to need to build a Saturday brand, a Saturday audience.
That's a tough time spot, bub.
Saturday night is hard, man. It's hard to watch. Like, but maybe they've looked at it and gone, look, our primary thing is like guys with kids who were fucking home at 8:00 on a Saturday. Truth be told, I'm home 8:00 on a Saturday.
I mean, I am too. Not really.
And I'm just saying,
in a perfect world, I would be home. I'm working still, but
I'm just saying, like, we're a demographic, and we are the demographic. Now, are they going to get that, 18 to, what is it, 18 to 25, 18 to 28, whatever?
Yeah, 18 to 25, and then you've got 25 to 36 or some shit like that, and then, 36 or better.
Yeah, so, I think they're going to die in the 18 to 26, like, demo on Saturdays. Like, that's just not.
Oh, that's debauchery night.
Yeah, nobody's home. Those guys aren't home.
No.
Guys and or girls, whatever. But I feel like the girls that watch are the young daughters of us, us guys. Because I know my daughter watches with me, and she's like, "Dad, call me when the girls get back on." And not to segue this entirely, but. So with Evie, my now 8-year-old as of today, happy birthday, Evie. So for my 8-year-old, her thing, she loves the girl wrestler. She says, well, they're prettier. They have much better costumes. And I like what's going on in the ring. It's much more, what did she call it? It's much more gymnastic. And to her that meant that they're fluid, they roll, they tumble, they're not as bulky as the guys because they're not, clearly,
right.
So that's what she likes. She likes their big costumes, the big she's like, this is what I like. And Evie's also very rough and tumble in the sense where she's got a big brother, and she is more than happy to pull off a perfect spear and knock him down. Most of the time that ends in laughter. Sometimes she knocks the wind out of him.
Yeah, well.
So I may have a future WWE champion in my home right now, but
she'll get AEW.
Maybe, I don't know. She'll beat Ancient Saraya for the AEW Women's Championship.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's still around.
Yeah, for sure. She was just on tonight. Hell, Chris Jericho's around. Chris Jericho was around when we were children.
Yeah, well, Chris Jericho is also not a ticking time bomb.
That's a good point. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that, I think that they're looking for an entirely different demographic on Saturday. And, the demographic is guys in their mid-late 30s.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for them.
A bold strategy, but they've got Samoa Joe. They're going to bring in CM Punk. They're going to bring back CM Punk. They've got, the Blackpool Combat Club. They've got Chris Jericho. They've got guys who are going to draw the eyes of those guys in their mid-late 30s. And I think that's the idea. Is that guys like us, I can tell you with all honesty, there have been plenty of Saturday nights where I come home with the kids and I'm like, fuck, I wish there was something on TV live for me to watch.
Yeah.
And there isn't. And if there was a wrestling show, I'm not saying I'm going to catch 100. I'm not saying I'm going to catch 52 of them a year, but I'll probably catch 35.
That's fair.
And I think that they look at that in the sense of, that's probably a pretty sizable demographic of people who are watching TV on a Saturday night. And, they're going to draw those eyeballs because otherwise there's nothing really. And CM Problem will bring.
Derek,
that's
Derek.
Derek, just get on the goddamn show, man. You got the fucking link.
Derek.
CM
Problem. Did you stay up all night fucking writing that? Huh?
He was up all night.
God.
He was up all night. So let's be fair. Look,
Kenny and the kids don't pull eyeballs like he can and will.
Oh, they found cupcakes. Well, everybody's covered in cupcakes right now. What the fuck is going on right now?
Bunch of dudes covered in cupcakes?
Well, just Jericho and Roddy. But
that sounds like a fucking bad nightmare.
It kind of looks like a weird gay
bunch of dudes covered in cupcakes. It's
weird
like
gay
a
porno
fucking nightmare.
It's really bad right now. Oh, good. Jericho found fucking towels to wipe his face.
Oh, my God.
We gave Jericho some paper towels. He chucked a garbage can at Roddy. This is not so. Dynamite tonight is not tremendous. Kenny and the kids don't pull eyeballs. No, they don't. The kids got beat up today by the Blackpool Combat Club, and they're not. They got beat up on somebody's truck. It was just randomly parked. Must have been Tony's truck.
So anyways, we all are led to believe that CM Punk is going to headline this show, right? And over the last couple of days, an announcement is imminent. CM Punk to return to AEW. It's all the dirt sheet headlines. It's all the wrestling media headlines.
And it's true. You know what? Because Tony told them, it's not. We're not in a realm right now, especially with AEW, where there's somebody feeding false AEW information to Dave Meltzer, right? That's not happening.
No, because it's Tony.
Yeah, right. It's Tony. Dave texts Tony. Tony tells him what's going on, and then Dave reports it. Well, my source is your source is the guy that owns the fucking product.
What's up, Dave? Hey man, I'll tell you what's going on. Well, hey, can we talk about Rampage real quick? Let's talk about Rampage. Will you please tell everybody to watch Rampage? It's a great show. Rampage, Rampage, Rampage. Gotta love me some Rampage. Anyways, Dave, check it out. So CM Punk just got off the phone with him, said he's gonna come back, okay, but he wants some things, and I told him it'd be all right. You know what I mean? I think it'd be all right if Ace Steel came back with him. I think it'd be okay, but I told him he can't be in the building though. And he didn't sound too happy whenever I told him he can't come to the building, but like he can still work on projects and travel and do things, but he can't come to the building. Can't come to the building. I mean, but have you seen Rampage, Dave? Dave, you there?
Dave, you there? Dave, do you watch Rampage, Dave? Dave. All right, Dave, call me later. Please watch Rampage first, though. We're going to talk about it. See you later, Dave. Yeah.
So
that's it.
A bunch of shit happened, right? So, like, we get this announcement, and then today they do the press conference. Where's CM Punk?
It's a secret.
Hey, bud. You told everybody 3 days ago.
It's a secret.
No, it's not. You told everybody.
Look.
Where's he at?
Look, the press conference was like during the daytime. He called Dave at night, like after he was. So like nighttime, snowman Tony. So Dave talks to Sub-Zero because Tony's a snowman. Get it? So Dave talks to Sub-Zero. However, during the mornings, during the day, 10 a.m.
I can't believe that fucking shit popped me.
So during the day, Tony is not quite. He hasn't pulled out the bag of white powder yet. That happens, after once he takes a little nap. Like he's still been up since the night before, but he takes a nap.
Allegedly,
he takes a little nap and then he wakes up groggy from the nap and he's just like, where's my time for Rampage? Let's fucking go. Rampage, great show on television. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Anyway, so that's the difference, I think, is that we get, especially in these morning like sort of like show off shows, that it's like, oh well, now we've got now we've got this in a realm of where everybody's okay and it's all going to work out and you've got the Tony who's sort of calm and a little bit collected and what have you, but by the time it gets to 5 p.m. post dinner, Tony is he's a different guy. And he's not a guy who's he's not a guy who's there to pull punches. He's a guy who's not feeling feelings anymore.
April.
There we go.
When is the Collision press conference? I'm going to need you to call Anthony and tell him that I will not be in attendance, for I don't agree with the terms of his deal.
I think Punk is certainly coming back, and I think it's.
Do you? You really think so?
I do, and I think it's gonna be a surprise. I don't think that this has been a work.
Relationship a lot of fringe wrestling fans have with certain people is really unhealthy. I get the tribalism, like it's fun to root for your team, but picking sides seems a little silly. You don't know me, you don't know anybody else, so just go touch grass.
How does he know we don't know anybody else?
I mean,
I could be Samoa Joe's best friend. Nobody would know. I'm clearly not. But, look, most of these guys who are, top guys are our age. And Maybe we went to high school with him. Maybe we're still in text chains with him. He don't know. He don't know that.
So,
come on, Phil.
I gather that that's in response to this Alvarez thing. Alvarez stirring the pot, saying that, Punk's going to no-show Collision in Chicago. And, all of this just shit soup is just being brewed in a big old pot, right?
The stinky pot.
Big old fucking just stinky pot of CM Punk bullshit, right? Just throw in some extra of this, a little bit more of that, right? Everything has gone into this pot today, and it's just simmering right now.
We got a simmering pot of shit.
So Punk's back. That's what we're told. Then he no-shows a conference. All right. Then he fucking talks shit about fucking no-showing the conference after somebody calls him out for no-showing the show in Chicago. Then we hear some rumblings about this whole Ace Steel thing with the behind the scenes, not allowed in the building. And it's just all getting thrown in there in this big pot. Oh, and then let's sprinkle on a new show that we're building specifically for Punk.
Well, I mean, I think that's why WB gave them the shows, because they were like, no, we'll get Punk back and put Punk on the show. This will be the CM Punk show. It'll be great. Lots of people are going to watch on Saturday because CM Punk's going to be there. It's going to be great.
You don't think that CM Punk knew that was the selling point of that show? Is he trying to leverage something here? Is he trying to strong arm TK like Max did?
So it's one of two things. One, either you're right and he's strong arming for the money, because let's face it, CM Punk he never made that Brock Lesnar money, right? But
I think he's probably making it now.
Right. In his mind, he should be. And maybe that's what he's trying to get in for. So that's one. Two, they're trying to make it look like a work. CM Punk's trying to make it look like a work because he loves stuff that looks like a work.
Yeah.
He loves it. So for him to go on TV and kind of do this thing, it puts that shadow of doubt.
He hadn't been on TV. That was on his Instagram Live.
I'm just saying, right? You go on the internet, you go on Instagram. He's putting that shadow of doubt. Is CM Punk going to show up? Is he going to no-show? Is he actually not going to be there? What's going to happen? Is it real? Is it fake? And I think that gray area is where CM Punk kind of thrives in the sense of like he loves that shit, right? Until he gets his feelings hurt and takes his ball and goes home. So it's almost like a shoot that's a worked shoot. It can kind of go either way at this point, right? Like it's not nobody's on the same page.
It's wild, man. It's wild.
Right. And nobody's on the same page. We're not sure how it's going to work.
Like at this point, this is the best thing happening in AEW from a showmanship standpoint, right? And
is
like
it even showmanship though?
No,
is everybody a little bit confused?
Everybody just hates everybody, and like nobody wants to fucking play nice. And it just continues to be a complete and utter shit show in fucking Jacksonville. Yeah. And I just, it's the best storyline that they have.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as Tony's concerned, he's got to go with this because it's literally like, if it works out, it's what's best for business. If it works out, if it doesn't work out, it was still what was second best for business. Right. So it's like either I did the best thing or I did the second best thing, and it's win-win for him. because he gets the buzz around it, and either it works out or it doesn't. So, if it doesn't work out in the long term, it's not as good for him. But, in the short term, it's great either way. So, and that's what he's banking on. Because even in the, hypothetically, if CM Punk doesn't show up and decides not to play ball, it'll be like, he could just say, we never said CM Punk was coming officially. And they'll put Jon Moxley on there, and Mox will walk out and be like, I'm gonna drink your blood and spit your piss in your face. Like, wait, what? And we're all gonna be confused, and it's gonna be really weird. But it is what it is. I think he's just flying by the seat of his pants. He's like, if he shows up, it's great. If not, still got a little bit of push out of it. So whatever. So, man, I don't know. It's you're right. It's the best thing going for them.
It's like, because it's such a shit show.
It is. It's a shit show. And that's the thing. And I think that at this point, it's like, they're like, well, it's either going to look like a worked shoot or it's going to be a shit show. And either way, people are going to watch because it's reality television. It's certainly not scripted.
But what if it has been? What if the whole thing's just been a giant script?
Man, what a good work it would be. Yeah, I don't think it is. That doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like there's been too much.
What happens if, like, years later, CM Punk's doing an interview, crotchety old fucking CM Punk, even more crotchety now. He's like, April, do you remember whenever I feuded with Tony Khan? Man, that was a great angle. And then the internet's on fucking fire. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, superstar Billy Graham died.
Did he?
Yeah.
He's been on life support for a few days.
Yeah, it just happened a few minutes, about a half hour ago.
Yeah, he's been on life support for a couple of days. R.I.P. Billy Graham.
Superstar Billy Graham, R.I.P. Without you, there would be no Hulk Hogan. And there would probably be no pro wrestling. We're gonna connect them dots.
Yeah. It's a shame he got so bitter towards the end of his life, though.
Really is. How he was.
I don't even know what happened.
He was such a big, massive, like, mean dude. Like, what a cool, like, on the mic. Like, so
awesome.
Cool. Awesome.
R.I.P. Billy Graham.
Yeah, R.I.P. Billy Graham.
So this has got to be like a real big problem for AEW if Punk holds out because of something that they can't agree to, right? Like, the network's not going to be real happy, right?
Well, especially if the ratings flounder because of it. I think that's really going to be the telltale sign. Like, whether or not you get CM Punk is sort of, I don't want to say it's irrelevant because he's clearly the easy ratings draw. Like, oh, let's watch the CM Punk show on Saturday. Like, that's
why. Maybe he didn't like the name. He's like, oh, fucking, what a stupid name. Fucking be on Collision. What is this? Fucking Bush League? Huh? Yeah, fucking backyard wrestling? Collision? May
as well just call it butt fuckery. Good God.
Yeah, you fucking hear this shit? Collision? They want me to be the face of Collision? Fuck out of here.
One word, like explosive, dynamite, rampage, collision, backyard brawl. No, one word. What's a good one word? Diarrhea. Whatever.
That's what this whole fucking AEW situation is. It's fucking diarrhea. What a fucking shit show.
I mean, oh look, Sammy Guevara's fighting another match. Like, he beat a guy and now he's in the ring with three of the pillars. This is I've not been watching with sound This kind of doesn't make sense. Jungle Boy's got a bloody nose.
Hey, listen, you were real salty about that Sammy Guevara poster spot. Like, what?
Okay, so yeah, I was. Because right now, of the 4 pillars, who's the guy who's got go away heat?
Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guevara. Right. So you're going to throw that up there, just his face. And now I see why. Because, okay, there's MJF in the back doing, because they got that 4 pillars match thing coming up. That's, they're pushing for that. And they're trying to work that angle. I don't think those guys have any chemistry together.
I don't think it's working at all.
I don't think it's working at all. They are shoving it right now down everybody's throat. Oh, there's Renee. Renee's like, oh my God, MJF just slapped the mic out of Renee's hand. Where's Mox to beat him up? Don't you dare. Anyway, so just it's not working at all. But God, what the fuck were we talking about? I'm sorry. We were
talking about CM Punk fucking possibly no-showing the show, the house that Punk
No, that's not what I meant. I don't think CM Punk's going to no-show that. I think he's going to show up. I think 100% he's going to be there. There's no way around that. It's coming. He's coming. He's going to show up. As far as the 4 pillars thing, man, that's just none of those guys can really carry it. I mean, I think that MJF, can certainly, but Jungle Boy, no. Darby Allin, no. Darby Allin's gonna die next year. He's gonna attempt to climb Mount Everest underprepared. That's gonna happen, and he's gonna die up there because that's what happens when you do that. He's going to die. So that'll be the end of Darby Allin. And then what else we got? We got Sammy Guevara's got go away heat. Nobody likes him. And yeah, that's it. So Darby's gonna die next year. Jack Perry's he's okay, but he's a mid-carder at best. He can have this little spot in the sun, but he's not, he's not going to be great. He was a terrible tag team champion. Like, how do you be a terrible tag team champion and then be like, oh yeah, I could be the world heavyweight champion? Like, no. That's not how that works. And then, so Darby's dead. Jungle Boy, no. Sammy's got.
It's got to be Max, dude. Like, there's.
Max is just gonna win, right? Yeah, he's gotta.
There's no believability to it.
No, there's
whatsoever. It doesn't make me want to watch. Like, not a little bit.
No, not at all. And it's like you've got MJF, and then you've got guys who are mid-carders, and like I said, Darby's going to attempt to climb Mount Everest, and he's going to die. It's just he's going to be. They're going to mark his corpse as like a point on Mount Everest to like his corpse is going to be like a marking point because there's lots of corpses on Mount Everest. They're very perfectly preserved. Hopefully, he's got his face paint secured so that it stays for a while because his corpse will be preserved in the cold. There's lots of go-getters. Lots of their corpses rest on Mount Everest. So maybe chill out. Yeah, no, I don't like it. It's not a good angle. I'm not interested in it either. And I think that they really just need to throw some top guys at MJF and almost let him run through. Like, he really probably needs to beat Jon Moxley in 4 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, just give him a brutal, like a brutal sort of cheat win over Jon Moxley. Like, it doesn't need to be a competitive match. It needs to be a match where MJF, continues to foil him for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then MJF busts him open with a brass knuckles or something, or Jon Moxley does something stupid because that would actually make more sense. And then MJF hits him with the ring or whatever, and just 1, 2, 3, and stuff like that. Maybe let him beat Sting. Let him beat, a bunch of guys. Let him do something terrible to Arn Anderson. Let him just be the worst guy. Let him be Triple H. And I think that's really what they're missing is they're giving him like competitive time. You know, he really just needs to be evil. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, that's not how they book things in AEW. So
all right, bub. I think we're about ready to send her on home. What do you think?
yeah, I guess so. We got no Derek, unfortunately.
What'd you say, pal?
I said we got no Derek. I hope baby Jethro's going okay.
Cooter
Jethro. We missed you, buddy. Would have been nice to see you.
Nah, he's just friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Derek, right? So my match of the week comes from Monday Night Raw, baby. So I have actually two matches to talk about. One being not this Monday, but Monday a week from Monday ago, because we got Rollins versus Balor, which you and I talked about a little bit. Man, what a good match. That's actually the match of the week, my match of the week, despite it being more than a week ago. Phenomenal. I mean, those guys went out there and put on the Rollins versus Balor match that we all know and love, and it's fantastic. It's really good. We've seen it a couple times. Every time we've seen it, it's been great. Proper main event. It was the main event that they put on. Like, well, we got to draw eyeballs away from the NBA playoffs. Here you go. This is a WrestleMania caliber-esque match. Go on, boys. They had a little commercial break in the middle, but still fucking great. So those guys are both so good, and they continue to show, especially when they get in the ring together, why they are the best in-ring workers of this current generation. And they're phenomenal. They really are phenomenal. It was really great. But I also want to point out that this Monday on Raw, a couple days ago, we had a battle royal for the number one contender for the Intercontinental title. And, well, you know me, buddy. I love me a good battle royal. And this was... Going into this, I was very skeptical. I'm like, oh, we fucking kidding right now with what's going on here. Like, we got all these chooches in here, and we're just going to do this battle royal thing. It was great. It went on for about 15 minutes. There was a lot of fast eliminations. They didn't throw Braun Strowman in there to, like, throw chooches out left and right. And everybody kind of got a little bit of shine. It was very scripted and very, like, kind of to the point. But at the same time, man, was it fun to watch. Like, I'm like in my head, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what's going on? But, like, the whole time, I'm like, I'm really interested in this. I'm just going to keep watching. And Mustafa Ali comes out on top. Now, he's going to get fucking killed in Saudi Arabia, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's, like, he's going to get, like, I feel bad for him in a way because that shit's going to hurt. Like, he's going to get some, Gunther is going to slap the shit out of this. But, you know what? It makes sense. He's a Muslim. He's the right, you know, they're going to Saudi Arabia. Going to work out great for him. It's going to be good for him. He's going to get some offense in Saudi Arabia. He's going to look good. He's a great competitor. He's really good in the ring. It's going to be a really good match. And I'm really glad he won because I think it really works out for what the Saudi Arabia house show kind of vibe is. It's going to work out. Here
you go.
I'm just saying it's really probably going to sort of steal the show match caliber quality wise because they're both really good in the ring. I like what they're doing with Mustafa Ali as far as like.
Oh, he's going to get the ever loving fucking piss kicked out of him by Gunther. And
I mean,
we're going to be here for it because he's going to make that shit look good. He's going to look like $1 million coming out of that match.
He's going to look like $1 million coming out of that match. He's going to feel like shit though afterward. Like he's going to go home wrapped in ice. But you know what? You make a career doing that shit. So good for him. I hope it's a great showing. That's actually now a match I'm really excited for this upcoming show. So obviously, Balor versus Rollins, best match.
But you won't watch it live. You'll watch it later because that somehow makes it better, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put it on. So it's gonna come on at like 1:00 in the afternoon, on like a Thursday. Like I'm fucking working, buddy. Like I got shit to do. I'm gonna be on calls. I'm talking to people with about millions of dollars here, millions and millions of dollars. I'm in charge of the compliance of that. So I can't watch it live. I'll put it on in my bed when I go to bed after I'm tired and I've choked on the dust from half the baseball fields in the fucking Western Pennsylvania area. But that's going to be a good one. So I'm very excited about that. And that was a great battle royal. It was really well put together. As much as I was like making fun of it going into it, I went out of it going, that was really fun. I really like that. Okay. All right.
Interesting. I haven't watched Raw yet, so I have to go. I have to make sure I check that out.
It kind of happens like within the first hour ish. So like even if you like put it on to fall asleep, like you'll still probably see it.
Cool. Dope. I have to watch it. So my match of the week was Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles.
Tremendous. So good.
That was great.
Tremendous.
Great. What a fun, like hard hitting physical main event. You know, Bobby got a little busty bust, huh? A little busty.
Sure did.
You know,
I don't think he meant to either. I think that
seems to be happening an awful lot on WWE television.
I think that was a whoops. So Brock's, I think, was when Brock did it on the pay-per-view, I think that was on purpose.
It was 100%.
100%. But I mean, that was Brock was like, I'm getting juice, and nobody was like, "Who you stop?"
Don't worry, pal. I'll go hard way.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
And he just smashed his fucking head off a metal ring.
Yeah, the exposed. So there's
the
Jim
turnbuckle.
Cornette actually talked about this. There's a screw there that like if you can like just sort of like hit and pull, and it's just a screw, like, so like, you know, it's not gonna like tear you to shreds, but like if you cut this, like that's just blood, right? Like you get color. So yeah, that's what he did. He scouted it and he did it, and it worked great. No, that was a great match.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Good shit, pal.
Yeah. I mean, Raw and SmackDown this week were just like next level.
In-ring's been great.
Oh my God, it's so good. I mean, just it's been WWE's firing on all cylinders right now, which makes it's firing on all cylinders, and they're not making a lot of mistakes. Like there's maybe one little mistake like per hour of WWE television, which is like, oh, we made 5 mistakes in 5 hours, and it's like, but they were little. It's been it's been so good and so like tight lately, and it's a joy to watch.
Agreed. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. We got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Hey, if you're still here, hit the thumbs up button. Appreciate you. Check us out over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_FallWC. That's ONE.
Derek, we miss you.
Derek, you know, I don't know what to do with friend of the show, Derek Wright. You know, like
I give him a pass because like he's got a newborn, but
yeah, but
Derek, I missed you. Are we gonna have to go down into the holler and like?
All I know is he hasn't returned a text message in like 3 days.
But he was talking to us a little bit ago.
Yeah, but that was to just lie to us.
He did lie to us, liar.
You gotta watch yourself.
I lost my title.
You did.
To his lies.
Hey man, it's a tough layer to the game.
It really is.
Hey, if you're joining us right now, anytime, anywhere, any place, we appreciate you. As always, Thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.